mainly featuring you.
Oh, okay. All right.
Hey, everyone. Happy
Hello.
Saturday. Hi vibe Monday, but heck, it could be high vibe Saturday too. So everyone, please welcome my co-host, Bobbie G.
Delighted to be here, my friends. Delighted to have the chance to connect with each and every one of you, to share the Gregory readings with you, and to just have fun. Just have fun, because it is our intent, Gregory coming through already, to create an environment and the energy for you to move forward with your lives. We love being of assistance to our physical friends as you look into the possibilities of your life that you never knew were possible. As you open to the opportunities that await you merely for your awakening. As we assist you to awaken, to be all that you can be, because, my darlings, it is way more than you think you can be. You are more magnificent than all the stars in the sky, because you are one of those stars. And it is our extreme pleasure to help you be here and to help you expand into that energy of starness, of the starlight, of the star energy, of the explosion of you into the all that is. So anything we can do to help each and every one of you through our Gregory readings, through our life coaching, and through all the wonderful stuff our friend Kelly Lunt does, as she helps us help Bobbie expand more powerfully into these possibilities. So that's a Gregory hello to everybody. Kelly, who is here with us?
We have a lot. Hello, Ari, Samantha, my homegirl. What's up? Hey, Pecaz. We got Felicia in the house. We got C. Dylan. We got True to Thyself. We got Lisa Miriam. We got Tina Flores, Angelica Laura, Danielle, and Emily's here. We know Emily. We got Adriana in the house. We got Gina. We got Indigo Heart. We got Jenster. We got Nikki. We got me. We got you.
We got a party going on, girlfriend.
We got Lupe. We got Lisa Miriam. Let's see, who else can we say hi to? We got Michelle. We got Mira. We got Rosie Barr coming back in the house. Demetria? That's a beautiful name. I'm sure Demetria. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Jessica, Lou M, Joanne's in the house. What's up? Ooh, Kelly Mamala, good name. A little biased here. Chrissy Cakes is here. Oh, Lisa Miriam, thank you so much. Mwah. I love super chats, guys. Well, so let's go ahead and dive in, guys. We came live to give you all some mini reads to get you guys boosted up and get you in the direction that you want to be going. And so Samantha and Lisa, thank you so much. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bobbie, do you want to do another general message for everyone, or do you just want me to start pulling people for you to read for?
The only general message that we would like to make sure is that all of you who are here be open to whatever messages come through. It may look like it's targeted for the individual that is chosen for the read, but we are working with Kelly, as is her guy George, to pull the people who have the broadest reach to help each and every one of you. And as we do these readings, we want you to understand we're working with all of you. We're working with all of you to up-level your energies to hear this information in new and different ways. So all we want to request is that you be open to the message and ask, and how does that one work for me? Because that's the way it works. Okay, let us move into this.
All right, what's up, Nuri? And what's up, Neurolay? Have you applied yet? P, greetings from LA. All right, everyone, so this is how it works. Just type a single word me like that. I let my spirit, Karen, you made it, fist bump, mwah. Type the word me, single word. Spirit will pick the person who's most ready to hear the answer and who most represents everyone, like Bobbie and Gregory just said. Did someone just say they binge watch me on the weekend? Samantha, yay, binge watch me. I love that. That makes my heart sing. Okay, we're getting the me's. And so the people, I'm going to call off, list a couple people off. Once I get you listed, don't type your question right away. Just get it ready. So when it's your turn, you've got it ready to go. Because I would love for as many of you as possible to get a read. Okay, so we got Christine. Christine, get your question ready. You're going to go first. Hey, Antoinette made it. What's up, girl? Okay, Spirit, who knew? Oh, yeah, Antoinette, you need a message. Ooh, I got Chrissy Cakes. And we'll do one. Oh, Dominique. Hey, and thank you, everyone, for popping in and coming in. So we're going to do it in this order. Karen, I wonder if you would have been picked if you typed it when I was doing it. So we're going to do these 4, and then we're going to go, we're going to get as many people as we can in. So Christine, Antoinette, Chrissy, and Dominique. Get your questions ready, guys, and pop them in there. And as always, if you like the message in the works, I always appreciate super chats. Just always, if y'all haven't seen me do a little dance when I get them, they obviously make me happy. But Christine, Antoinette, Chrissy, Dominique. Christine, go ahead and get your question. Type it in. Antoinette, Chrissy, Dominique, get your questions ready. What insight would you like about your Libra, Christine? Hey, Queen Goddess is in the house, Bobbie.
Hi, Queen Goddess. Love you. Miss you.
Hey, Taylor. What's up? Okay, so everyone, Antoinette, Chrissy, Dominique, get your questions ready. So much your turn is entered in, so we can just go back to back and get them in there. Ooh, we gotta love your short hair. So I'm just gonna say Samantha's giving us both a beautiful compliment.
All right. I get mine repinked next week. Then it'll really jump out at y'all, folks.
Ooh, I want to see it. Hold on, Chrissy, keep your question ready, because we're gonna do Christine, Antoinette, Chrissy, then Dominique. So Antoinette, Chrissy, Dominique, just have your question ready. But okay, so Christine wants some insight into her Libra. And when I asked for, was there any other information she would like? She's saying, how does he feel? So I don't know, Bobbie, if you want me to read, you tell me, but I'm gonna let you take it.
We want you to read, but we want to say, pay more attention to what it is you're wanting. Pay more attention to your own feelings of inner guidance. When you focus on other, you're not balancing self. The more balanced you are in self, the more you're able to read what's true for those in your life. Pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. The balance is very important for you. So you give her another read, Kelly, there.
Yeah, very similar message, Christine. So anyone on here who is wondering, how does he feel? How does she feel? Are they coming back? Are they gonna stay with me? This message applies to you. Christine, I definitely also pick up in your energy. There's like a hyper focus, almost like a hamster wheel. How does he feel? How does he feel? I just need to know how he feels, and then I will feel good. I need to know how he feels, or she, whichever way the boat floats. I need to know how the other person feels, and then I can feel relaxed. Cough, cough, codependent tendencies. If the other person feels good, then I feel good. If the other person wants me, then I feel good. So just be aware of that. There needs to be a bringing back attention on you. How do you feel being ignored? How do you feel the way he or she communicates to you? How do you feel when you're with the other person? How do you feel? Okay, now let's see if George has anything else to say. That was just piggybacking off her read and picking up your energy there, Christine. You really got to slowly just start. I don't have to think about them as much. I can start thinking about myself a little bit more. That would be your affirmation work. I don't want to think about them as much. I want to think about myself a little bit more. Oh yeah, and at this point in time, we do not see him coming back. There was just a little bit too much, like a lot of mad energy. At this point in time, we don't see him coming back right now. It's about you returning to you. Listen to the message that Bobbie and Gregory gave in the beginning about everyone going to the star energy. This question, how we would word it for you is, how do I get back to being happy? How do I get back to being me? That's what we see your question as. And he's asking,
Kelly, yes. No, we're just, yes, well put. How do I get back to me?
Go ahead if you have more to chime in, Bobbie. And Christine, if you got any comments on that. For those of you who are struggling to move on, okay, let me. There, guys, if you go Google, moving on from, I'll pull up the video for you guys. I'll do it for you guys. I have videos up on moving on from an ex. Let me pull it up for you guys. It's titled, Why You're Holding On to an Ex for So Long. And I got, why did I attract a narcissist? And I have 3 videos up for y'all who are struggling letting go of an ex. Let me pull up one of them for you, and you should be able to find the rest from it.
Had trouble managing our tasks.
Oops,
So one of my
where was
colleagues
that coming
found
from?
Monday.com. You can see the task owner.
When you're having trouble letting go of an ex or anything in your life, it's connected to a fear of lack. If I do not have this, in some way, I will die emotionally, physically, socially, spiritually. It's putting all of your power on another person. And that's never the truth. The other people are out there for you to interact with and play with and grow with. And when a relationship begins to dissolve, the question should be not how do I get them back, but is this appropriate? Not how do I make this person love me, but what is it I need from someone who loves me? So that you can begin to pull your energy into your own beingness, into your own heart. And then look at the fears that come up. Look at the fears, the doubts, the lacks. If I don't have this person, I won't be whole. I won't be happy. I won't be complete. I won't have this life I want. And my darlings, that's never true unless you make it true. If you run those thought patterns, you will create that lack and that misery. If you use much of what Kelly and Esther and Abraham have brought through with the levels to move you from that lackful, painful thinking into a, I thought I needed this person and I'm feeling really scared about letting him go. But I know based on what I've read and learned and what Bobbie and Kelly and George and Gregory are saying, I am an infinite being. And there is a path out of this. I'm not quite sure how to find it yet, but I'm going to start taking some baby steps. And I'm going to hold the faith that there is a path away from this person, if that's what needs to happen. But it doesn't matter what happens with him. It matters that I find a way into me, that I find a way into my soul, into my heart, into my life. And I know that I can find that way. And when the fear comes up that I've got to have this other person to do it, I release that illusion and I move more powerfully into finding and asking questions on how can I be the best me I can be, so that whoever I attract, be it this person now, this person later, or somebody else later, it will be what I need that fills me up, because I will have filled me up already. I will be full and I will attract a full person.
Yeah, guys, most of the time, the person who's pining over an ex afterwards, I hate to say this, and I say this with love, guys, because I was the person pining after my ex for, God, like a year and a half afterwards.
Been there, done that.
Most of the time, it's because when you hung out with them in the very beginning, you peaked at your level of happiness. You felt more happiness than you've ever felt in your life. And you associate that happiness with, they gave me that happiness. So when you break up, what you really want is, I want to feel that happy again. I therefore need them back. You got to go on the journey of, I'm ready to get back into my highest happiness that I can on my own. So that's one thing for people who are the piners. The other one, and Bobbie, you're going to love this, the trauma mind. A lot of times when the person, and this goes for people who are having a hard time leaving an abusive relationship, or a person, or the person who's really pining over the ex, it's because when you were younger, your primary caregiver, I think that's disorganized attachment theory, but it's when you were younger, the love from your primary caregiver was inconsistent. It was hot and cold. It was in and out. So when you're older, you're attracting that again. And but if they would love me, it would prove that my parents really loved me.
Yes, Kelly.
When instead, I would encourage everyone to focus on, you are your own divine mother and your own divine father. What is it that you didn't think you got from your mother? What is it that you didn't think you got from your father? Make the list. And when I first made the list, Jesus, there were like 200 things on that list. One by one, I just tackled them and went, oh, my father never offered me protection. My father never screened boys for me when I was younger. Well, how can I do that for myself? Make sense, guys?
I love the way you intertwine the psychological theory with the metaphysical, Kelly. You did a beautiful job. That's from Bobbie. Wow, I'm really impressed, girlfriend.
That's what I love doing, Bobbie. I'm learning so much about it right now. Well, and from you, you taught me a lot. Oh yeah, everyone, if you want a private read with Bobbie, Bobbie is available for private reads right now. Let me get that link for you. If you are looking for some more in-depth support, releasing an ex, anything you really want to achieve. She's helped me with releasing an ex, healing my trauma, drama, abuse from my parents. She's helped me with my business. Go there. She has openings. Okay, let me try to read some of these comments. Guys, I appreciate those super chats so much. Mwah. I love you guys. Okay, so everyone's saying, wow, so on point. Yeah, I should make the video like obsessing over an ex. Anytime it's obsessed, you're literally so obsessed with them, your trauma mind is getting triggered. So it's really more about switching your focus completely to, I want to be happy on my own. I'm discovering how to reach happiness on my own, more and more happiness on my own. So people are saying so on point. I want to see if Christine had any questions about this. A good friend of mine. Saying issues. Oh yeah, I support Danielle too. Yes, guys, no strings. Why not? I don't get that comment. People are saying this is so true. So needed to hear this. Me. Okay, so this is helping a lot of people. So Christine, I don't see any more comments from you. So I'm hoping that helped you move on. It looks like this has helped other people move on. So let's go on to Antoinette. Give us your question, homie. It's going to be Antoinette, Chrissy, then Dominique. And then we will 100% get more people reads. And Bobbie, I'm totally fine if we just like power through these and you do most of the reads. I would love to have a Kelly Lunt featuring Bobbie G, but I'll always chime in. I'll just let you guide me and tell me if you want me to chime in or not.
Okay.
Okay, Antoinette's ready. Bobbie, are you ready?
I'm ready. Gregory says, I'm ready.
So Antoinette would love a general about her current situation. Is there a message Spirit wants me to know about my current situations?
Wow. Okay, Antoinette. Let us take a second to get this visual in. Okay, there's this picture of you going like this. It's like, okay, what does that mean? There's an energy of pushing away. And if you had 4 hands, there's an energy underneath pulling forward, but the primary energy in front is pushing away. And in order to get these 2 aspects of self in alignment, you need to center, you need to touch into your heart. You need to allow the heart energy so that you can feel it and then speak your truth, because you're asking and asking and asking. You want the situation to come forward. You want to explore it. You want to move forward. It's something to do. I'm having trouble seeing whether it's business or personal because it feels like both. But then there's this part saying, I'm not ready yet. I'm going to hold back. If I could just get this done, if I could just get that done, if I could just get this done, then I'll be ready. What we want you to know is that in order to move forward in your life, often you need to just go ahead and do it. You need to go ahead and be in the energy of the unknown. And in that energy of the unknown, as you move forward, the answers you're seeking will show up. You're waiting to get everything in alignment before you move forward. That's not going to work, my darling. That never, well, it not never works, but it doesn't often work if you wait to get everything in the universe in alignment, because the universe is too multidimensional for the human mind to be able to align with it. So what would be of more value is if you would center, breathe, focus. The 3 cleansing breaths that you've seen Kelly do. Bobbie does the breathe in 1, hold and breathe out. Do 3 of those, center, and feel your heart, because there's something that needs to be said and you're choking it off. And that won't work either. So paying attention to your internal guidance system, listening to your heart, speaking your truth, being willing to take the steps, even though they aren't all laid out, and notice the fear that's wanting to do the stop, and just, what do we want you to do with that? Just release it. Just notice it. Go, okay, there's a part of me that wants to stop. There's a part of me that's unsure. That's okay. I can work with that part. I can work with that. I can move past that. I've been here before. I've had to move past fears before, and it's always come out good when I pay attention to my internal guidance system, when I speak my truth, when I allow my life to move forward. And that's what we got for Antoinette.
Guys, so I want to comment on that Antoinette. And Antoinette, if you have any follow-up questions from that, let us know. If you guys would like a private read, guaranteed one-on-one with Bobbie, a full hour, I just linked to it in the chat, and I'll link to it in the description as well after the video goes up. For the readings here, we have Chrissy and then Dominique, and then we'll just get more people on the list and keep on going as long as we got energy. So yeah, Antoinette, if you have any follow-up questions from that, definitely type it in here. But for everyone, listen to what Bobbie just channeled from Gregory. Guys, it's not about I need to feel 100% good about this before I do it. When you're doing something new for the first time, you may not feel good for it. When a baby first starts walking, do you not see it wobble? Does it not look to mom and dad for support? Does it not reach out for mom and dad to hold their hands? Guys, when I took off to travel for the first 2 years by myself from California to Maine and back, I was scared out of my mind. I thought around every turn, that guy with the axe was going to come on and chop my head off. Oh, every gas station, I was in fear that I was going to get raped. After about a year of doing it, a lot of the fears just dissipated. It's not about feel the fear and do it anyway. It's about feel the fear, be with your fear, incorporate it. I want to do this and I feel afraid. I feel this and I want to keep going. You don't have to know how it's going to play out before you do it. Okay, Antoine is saying, this is what I needed to hear. I've been holding back a lot. I have no follow-up. Antoinette, I'm so glad you got the message you needed. She's saying, thank you. Chrissy, give us your question. Did I interrupt you, Bobbie? I'm sorry.
Oh, I just said you're welcome to Antoinette. I've learned to just trust Gregory when they come through, because I, Bobbie, don't know what's happening. So my Bobbiness, my egoic Bobbiness goes, oh, that was nice. Gregory was accurate again after only 30 years.
Well, Chrissy, I just want a general life message, something Spirit wants me to know.
I love this, Kelly. You know that that's our forte, is the general message.
Poppy's great at those, guys.
Oh, Chrissy. Okay, my darling. Huh. I see you walking along, and I see one leg held behind. It's like you've got your hands wrapped around. In my vision, it's the right leg, and you're trying to move forward, and you're pulling this leg with you. You're pulling this leg with you. You're pulling this leg with you. And the verbiage is, it's so difficult. It's such a struggle. Oh, Oh, if I could just, and what we want you to know, my darling, oh, please release that belief that you can't move forward. Release that struggleful, pulling, effortful. The problem is there's a task ahead of you and there's a decision to be made, and you know what that decision is. You know what you need to do, but you're in resistance about doing it. And in the resistance, you're pulling yourself along to find a way to make it come out the way you think it should come out, my darling, and that isn't going to happen. It is true that you can create reality by what you think and by what you say, and you can manifest your life many times through your thinking and your words, but not when there's not when you get the feeling, the internal guidance that says, okay, this isn't working. I need to do this different. I need to speak to this. When you ignore that and try to make it happen and try to make it good when it's not, you're pulling yourself along, efforting through, trying to make it happen. And that's one way to go through life. I mean, as far as we're concerned, it's okay because you still learn and you still get incredible lessons from that. But we don't think that's what you want. We think you want to stand up straight, center yourself, look at the situation, honor your truth, speak your truth, make your decision, and allow yourself to move forward. When there's this much struggle in forward momentum, there's something you're not facing. Face it, my darling. It'll be much easier. Trust us.
Bobbie, what's that psychology thing about avoidance? The more you, and that's good, again, psychology and law of attraction, spiritual go hand in hand. The
Yes.
more you avoid something, the more anxious you get about doing it.
Well, actually, yes. The more energy you put into anxious avoidance is created by a fear thought, and fear thoughts get manifest. It's often, sometimes, luckily, when you had all those fear thoughts, they didn't get manifest. But many times when working with individuals, Bobbie would notice that they would come in afraid they were going to ruin their relationship. So they weren't speaking up and they weren't saying their truth and they weren't moving forward in the relationship and they weren't saying what they wanted and they were keeping quiet and the relationship disintegrated. Because the very thing you're afraid of, you manifest when you stay in resistance, when you don't speak your truth, when you don't face the fear. You have to, like you said, not ignore the fear, but realize it, incorporate it, look to see if there's something that you need to do about it, and then move forward. Because if you don't face your fears, if you try to pretend they're not there, they will keep showing up until you look at them. Life shows up. You have a lesson. You need to learn the lesson. Spiritually, you have said, I want to learn this lesson. The ego says, I don't want to learn this lesson. I don't want to have to deal with this. This isn't any fun. But Spirit has said, hey, we need to learn this lesson about moving forward and speaking our truth. Well, I'm not going to speak my truth this time. Then you move into the next time. You don't speak your truth that time. You move into the next one. You don't speak your truth that time. You can spend a whole lifetime doing that. But it is our hope, through the help between Bobbie and Kelly and Gregory and George, that you will begin to face and admit, okay, there's a lesson here. It's being repeated. It isn't working. I'm in resistance. I'm pulling this leg along, trying to make it go in the direction I think it should. And that's one way to live a life. We do not judge it. But we don't think that's what you want. You want to be awake and aware. Ask yourself what you're afraid about. Look to see whether or not it's the truth. If it's a truth that needs to be spoken and handled, deal with it. And if it's just an illusion, deal with it and find a better way to think and move forwards. It's a balancing act. Does that make sense, Kelly?
Yeah, completely.
So many words. This is Bobbie coming through. I love it when Gregory comes through with all this verbose stuff and I come through with my litany of talking because I'm a really good talker. Then I ask the client, so what did you hear? And they synthesize it to 10 words. So if you all are synthesizing what we said, go for it. We want you to hear, ooh, Gregory coming through. We want you to hear your 10 words as loudly as the multitude of words coming through us and Bobbie. Because that's when you get it, not when you hear it, but when you synthesize it and absorb it.
Oh my God, there was something I was going to say. I feel like there was so much information in what you just said.
We do tend to do that. That's why we like these to be recorded so people can go back and listen. That's another thing we would like to add, is that when you listen to any of this, if something calls to you, go back and listen to it a week later, a month later, because the volume of information that these two women bring through from us is so powerful that you'll hear it differently each time you listen. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, that's such. I was just listening to Esther Abraham Hicks. I bought one of the recordings, and it's the third time I've listened to it, and I'm like, oh my God, the other 2 times were just getting me ready to actually hear what I really needed to hear.
Yeah.
Well, I can't remember what I was supposed to say, but this is resonating like crazy for Chrissy Cakes. And she is saying thank you so, so much. So the message got through, and other people are definitely saying next. And that would be, we should make a video on anxiety. I'm writing down some of your questions that we can't read for right now to maybe make a longer YouTube video about it. And I see the one about anxiety.
And Gregory told me, I just got it in a meditation yesterday, or day before, to channel a YouTube or a class or something on relationships, utilizing my knowledge from the counseling field and Gregory's knowledge of humanity to create a class for people about what is a relationship, what's a healthy relationship, what's an unhealthy relationship, how do you move through them, how do you create a relationship that you want, not only a love relationship, but the relationship with yourself, the relationship with your family. All of life is relationship. Everything you do is relationship. How you move in nature is your relationship with the world and nature. How you interact with people in the society is important. Relationship is what you came here to learn. In non-physical, we just float in and out of each other. We're all on the same vibration together. We generate and we understand and be with each other in a way that you don't do in physical. In physical, it's how to take non-physical energy, come into the physical domain, and find out what it's like to love, what it's like to have anger, what it's like to deal with emotions, how it is to deal with those emotions and be with people and honor who you are and honor who they are and navigate the journey so that you grow the maximum amount, because you want to grow when you come into this physical reality.
All right, let's move on to, so we got one more person who's already on the list, Dominique, and then we will get our next one up. Oh, Nuri, what an interesting idea. Interesting idea. I'll propose it to him. What an interesting idea, Stephanie. Wow. The super chat works. Do you see below the comma area? You see the smiley face and then the dollar symbol next to it? If you tap that, you get an option to send a super chat in. Guys, that's so appreciated, by the way. Not even Dominique, though, do you got your question ready? After Dominique, we're gonna get so many more people in here. Kurt, what you want me to do, insert name here. What are you, I must have missed some of your previous comments. But Dominique, what is your question, beautiful? Are you still here? After Dominique, we'll add more people to the list, guys. We're gonna get through as many as we can. Kelly, remembering your video on you waking up in your morning start and you had your jewelry on a bed and you were so happy. That was such a great morning.
I love that one.
I was literally just like so blissed out, and I was rolling with my little rose quartz. I think I don't know, Care, to be honest. When I clicked it one time for someone, I clicked it, you type the message, you hit buy and send. After you hit buy and send, it gives you either, like, I think a PayPal option or enter your credit card option. You guys are so sweet. Dominique, wait, Dominique, I didn't see your question. I'm here. I had a specific question about school, but a general message would be great. Well, what's a specific question about school? Tyler says that in every other read. Oh, says what? I think I'm clearly not seeing all the comment. Tyler says in every other read. Well, let me get Dominique's question first, and then I'll go back so Bobbie can start reading for her. Yeah, Dominic, you had a really good long one earlier. I'll try to scroll up and find it. There's just so many chats, man. There. Oh my gosh. Oh wow, somebody didn't even see the first time. Huh. I would love insight about continuing my education in the fall versus applying for a higher level job at work now and focusing my energy on that instead. So she's asking education versus work promotion. She's also open to a general, Bobbie.
Okay. The challenge with this, Dominique. Okay, first off, right now, the energy is in the promotion. The energy is in learning what you need to learn through the work. The education will be an auxiliary that will come in later. But what we're being spirit, are wanting is for you to do the work part to get more and more clarity about what it is you truly bliss on doing in life. So that when you add the education, you will take the specific classes and the specific, follow the specific path that will move you forward. Because spiritually, you came in to learn a lot about connections with people, about navigating relationships in the work environment, about expanding the work environment. But you've got some family stuff over here that wants to be dealt with too. And it hasn't showed up yet, but it's out there in the ethers. And it's going to be easier to deal with from the work environment than it will be from the school environment. So what we want you to know is all of this is your path. It's not either or. It's juxtaposing and interweaving and intertwining the paths together in the best way. And the minute we heard the words through the Kelly, the work promotion possibility is going to give you information, and it's going to educate you too. And then when you go into the formal education process, you'll be clear about what you do and don't want so that you're not expending so much time and energy in that field, floundering, because there's so many things you could get educated on. And choosing where to put your time and your dollars is important here. So that is we're looking to see if there's any more general. Be prepared for the family situation. It's not on your radar just yet, but it's there. And it needs to be handled so that you can be in balance when you start the education piece, because the education piece will siphon so much of your energy and time into doing the school, doing the papers, doing the stuff, that it will serve you well to have the family situation balanced before you start.
Okay, so Dominique is saying, thank you. This is what I need to hear. This totally resonates. I am a single mom of 3 boys, and they are my priority. I was uneasy about taking out loans for tuition. Yeah, guys, everything that Bobbie and Gregory said. I mean, I have a choice right now. I have an undergrad degree. My undergrad degree is in rhetoric. I have a choice that I can go get a psychology degree, or I can go with what I've already learned now and pursue this spiritual healing thing. Would I like a psychology degree? Yes, I would. Do I like the idea of taking 2-3 years not doing this to study, to focus, get in debt, or do this now and help with what I know, and then just, every few months read a new book? Will my education be slower? Yes. Will the helping people be faster? Yes. You could always choose it the other way. Teal Swan, she got educated first. Oh my God, I learned a lot of my psychology from Bobbie and from her. They both went for that first. So is their knowledge a lot more expansive than mine? Yes. And will the business grow slower? Yes. It's just all about which one do you want to see grow faster first?
Yes. And this is from the Bobbie coming through. I'm glad I got the diploma because psychologically I needed to see I could do that. For me, I needed that permission. Somebody stamped my forehead and said, okay, you're smart. But in reality, and I needed the diploma to do the private practice I had. But if you don't need the diploma, my husband has a hypnotherapy business, or had one, and he never got the stamp. He just read all the books in our library voraciously. And I learned so much from him who didn't get the diploma. So back out whether you want the education, whether you need the diploma. And if you just like learning, go to school. But they're going to have a set of classes they think you should take. You're freer if you don't do the school thing. So it's a balance, finding out what feels good to you. I needed it emotionally for me.
All right, everyone, get on those me's again, just a simple me, and let's get the next round of people who are going to get some reads. I am always so delighted and always so happy to hear. Well, Gregory and Bobbie channels Gregory has just impacted my life so much. So I love hearing that the person asking the question is helping a lot of people. I am a clinical social worker with a panic disorder with agoraphobia.
Agoraphobia.
Oh, see, she has the more education. I got I don't even know how to pronounce it, guys. What's agoraphobia?
When you're afraid of being afraid, you're afraid of everything. You have a fear and it goes into then being afraid of everything. Everywhere you go is a fear.
Oh my God, Bobbie, I feel like you and I should make a joint video about that.
So what is her question?
Well, let me see. Everyone did the me's though.
Interesting that she's an LCSW because I am too. Or I was before I closed down my practice.
Do you want to channel a quick message on agoraphobia?
What is she asking?
Any advice on how to?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes. This will be good for anybody who has fear, my darlings. Bobbie used to have fear to the point where she had to take Xanax in order to go out in public for a while. What happened when she started connecting with her spiritual gifts? In the center, when you're connected with spirit, there is no fear. And there was psychological work she had to do to understand through eye movement. If you know anybody who does EMDR who's good at it, we clarify there, where you do the eye movement and what do I fear will happen if? There's a whole process her husband has developed on that. So that you work through the fears of what is in your way, because the fear is false evidence appearing real, but frequently it's based on something that happened somewhere where back in your past, yourself, your little self, your egoic self decided that the world was not a safe place. In order to feel that the world is a safe place, whatever your fears are, you need to understand where that fear came from and be able to go hold it. Am I in that situation? We'll use Bobbie as an example. She had a rather tumultuous family life and people were often not there for her. And the fear was, I won't get taken care of. So she couldn't go forward in life because if she went forward in life and left the people she was with who weren't taking care of her, she wouldn't get taken care of. And she had to realize that fear to be able to see who did and didn't take care of her and to learn how to take care of herself. and a connecting with spirit. That combination of things, there is no longer any medication necessary. If fears come up, she breathes into them. She centers. She calls on us. She feels it to see whether or not she's in any real danger. But then she calls on us and calls on her higher knowing to go, am I in that danger? Are these individuals in my life right now? Am I going to be hurt? Do I need to take steps? Or is that an old fear that I need to release? Always, when you're caught in the throes of agoraphobia or any anxiety that is palpable and huge, there's a basis for it. And once you understand the basis for it, once you understand where it came from, then you can release it, but you can't release what you don't understand. So a combination of finding a therapist who knows EMDR, a good one, learning how to tap into your spiritual gifts, connect with spirit. When you're with spirit, you're never anxious. And doing the work you need to do, and know that fear is false evidence appearing real. Unless the tiger's coming and then get your butt out of the way.
All right, what I would like to add, I'm going to cover the flip side of what Bobbie covered. And I want to share, guys, you can 100% cure yourself of anxiety, of fear. When I was little, like we're talking elementary, middle school, I would be so afraid every morning when I literally in my mind thought that evil trolls, evil giants would come and they would build a contraption outside of my door, that as soon as I opened it, an axe would come down and swing and like slice me in half. I literally walked out with that kind of fear every day. So every day I did the practice of, well, I've lived a good life. I liked this. And I was like a little 7-8-year-old. Well, I appreciate the carpet. I appreciate this. I appreciate that. So if I die, it's going to be okay. I would open the door. The accident come down. So I would go, then I would get on my back and kind of inch towards the door and go, well, let me see it. So maybe I can miss it. And then I'm like, oh, okay, I don't see an axe out there. I was like, maybe they did a good job doing it invisible. So then I would kind of throw my backpack out and like walk sideways out of it. Yeah, I got made fun of a lot in elementary school because I did that stuff at school too. Now, look at me, guys. I traveled from California to Maine by myself. I'm about to take off international, probably in about 3 months. It's all about, you have your brain, your nervous center system, and I'm forgetting a lot of the vocabulary because I didn't focus on education first, but you have neurons and neural receptors in your brain. That's just how your body, how your fingertip communicates with your brain, with your eyes. Think of it this way. When you put your hand on a burning stove, you have all these neural receptors here that send messages to the brain. The brain goes, hey, that's hot, move your hand. That's where you go, move it away. So that's when the communication is working well, right? Same thing as when wind hits your body and your hairs and you feel them move and tingle, that's the same neuroreceptors that are transmitting information to your brain. And your brain's like, hey, you can ignore that outside message because that's just wind, it's not harmful. So just ignore it. And then you just get used to it and you don't feel it anymore, okay? So that's how the brain works, the simplest, surest way I can think to explain it. If you, when you were younger, experienced trauma, abuse, and trauma, everyone experiences trauma. Trauma is if you ever had a primary caregiver, or if you ever had an emotion that you weren't able to fully express and you had to suppress it. A little bit of you got suppressed, even if it was as simple as, honey, not now, let's wait later. Shh, not now. You dismissed yourself in that moment. That's not abuse, but that's technically trauma. So what happens, let's use the case of if your father hits you when you're younger, you are building an association with love as someone physically hitting you. I personally built an association with love as someone who psychologically tries to manipulate you, and verbally, you're dumb, you're never going to amount to anything. So the type of relationships that I attracted in, they would say that. It took me a moment. So your brain got wired. This is love. You have to be willing to rewire. I'm discovering a new way to receive love. I'm discovering a new way to perceive love. What are different ways that I can receive it? Does it feel weird? Did I have a moment where I bawled my eyes out, or I went, oh my God, my definition of love is someone calling me fat, ugly, I'm not good enough? Yes. It took me a good year to break up with that guy after I had that realization, but I went through the process of other people showing love. And it was so funny. You know, I had a girlfriend and her boyfriend, when they first took me out and we went out to dinner and he wanted to pay. Oh, I thought he was evil. I thought he was horrible. You literally have to allow your brain to rewire. Okay. base understanding for the next point. Sometimes when you have things like a fear, agoraphobia, or like body dysmorphia, or any of the stuff that I've shared about my life with you guys, anxiety, sometimes when you have that fear, you got to do everything that Bobbie said. After what Bobbie said comes, how is that fear serving you? Because think of it this way, body dysmorphia. I used to think I was extremely ugly, and I'd go, oh, like, no, I think I'm ugly. It doesn't matter what you say. What's the first thing that other people say? But you're so beautiful. You're so loving. You're so kind. You're so caring. So sometimes first you got to process all the healing Bobbie said. And then sometimes after that, if you still don't like, I don't know how to word it, Bobbie. Is this to correct? Feel free to jump in if I fumble the words here. If after you've done the healing and discovering what it is you need to work with, you still can't let go of it, move on, heal, then you have to ask yourself, how is this need serving me? My personal example is, I used to be the extremely nice girl, the extremely go-giver. I didn't say no to anyone. No, I'll drive you 2 hours to the airport in rush hour traffic. I'll call in late to work. No, you don't have to give me any gas money. The ultimate nice girl. And I was like, no, I love it. Thank you so much. How that served me was I thought, if I'm the nice girl, no one would want to hurt me. But I'm so nice, no one could want to hurt me. If I was acting like the child, the 5-year-old, because I was like, well, no one would want to hurt a child, right? I had to kind of have that sobering moment where I went, oh my God, I'm like a 25-year-old acting like a 7-year-old right now, just because I don't believe I'm strong enough to protect myself. I need other people to choose to not hurt me. Whew.
Yes. It's
All right,
a process, not an event, guys. Just keep moving on through it.
All right, let me get the next me. Okay, we got all the me's here. I'm going back through them. Oh, Lavana Nia. Go ahead and type your question in. Danielle N. Oh, I'll just do that. Bobbie, are you willing? It's 11:54 or 10:54. Where you at?
Oh, let's just do 3 more. That will be fine.
Okay. So you two go ahead and get me your question. I'll go through the next me's. It's Cecile. And I promise we are going to come back on. We're going to get a schedule going. Stay tuned to my community tab, guys. And I'll post when her and I are going live next. I'll post when I'm going live next. We definitely want to make this reading thing much more regular to get just people going in the direction they want to get going. We'll come live and do free ones like this. We'll also come live. And so the people who super chat, we'll make sure that you guys get reads. This time we definitely set it forth with the intention of free. We didn't want money to be any kind of a barrier, but we will do ones where like $25, you get a question, both of us will answer it. We're going to just switch up all the time so everyone gets access to what they need. And if you want a private read with Bobbie, I just put the link in there for you, bobbieg.com/readings, and she is available for some privates. So let me scroll down to their questions. Lavania, Danielle N, and Cecile. Do you guys got your questions?
Have them type their questions and put it when you call them. I like that. Gives a faster response.
Yeah, get that questions ready, guys. I'm gonna wait another 30 seconds and let's pick some new people. Bye, Mary. Thanks for joining in, guys. Thanks for joining in, everyone. Gina's saying, I've enjoyed this gal time. Thanks, girls. Missy's also saying, thank you. You helped me, angels. Kelly, Bobbie.
Thank you. Mwah.
Am I just not seeing? Did those 3 leave? Maybe because we went on I went on my little long rant. They left. They were like, that's not my mini.
Ask for some new meat.
Should we just go through some super rapid fire, Bobbie?
What's that?
Are you ready to go through some just like super rapid fire? Cecile, write your question. I got Laurel, Danielle, Cecile. I'll take any of your questions in any order. Any order. You 3.
I'm willing to. I just don't know what Gregory will do.
That's true. Hey, Lori. Lori.
We have no clocks over here, darling. But we will be more succinct. Is that the word you're looking for, darling?
Well, I don't want to rush. I just want more people to get reads. That's all. That's my intention there, Gregory. But I know how it goes. Sometimes I want, don't even worry. All right. If I don't see a question from Lavania, Danielle Ann, or Cecile soon, I'm going to change up the format really quick because I want the 3 more people to get their reads.
Well, if somebody has a question up, let's go with that while we're waiting for them to come through.
Yeah. All right, people. Screw the me because we're short on time. Just type in your question and I'll pick them and read them to her. Oh, we got one. Are you ready, Bobbie?
Yep.
I need help. I am not sure what happened to me. Oh, it's piggybacking what we were just talking about. I need help. I'm not sure what happened to me. I feel helpless, angry, and anxious. I need advice to break my negativity.
First name. Her name.
Cecile.
Cecile. Wow. Okay, Cecile, the picture is we see you in a quagmire of goo, and the goo is your thoughts and feelings and attitudes. Some of that is coming out of a fear base for you, but some of it you're picking up from people around you. You're picking up their thoughts, their beliefs, and their attitudes, and you're letting all of that quagmire. What you need to do, my darling, is pay attention to what you're thinking. Pay attention to what you're saying. Go to Kelly's site where she breaks down how to move from a negative to a positive using the Abraham technique. If you keep holding on and thinking about the negative and being caught in that and saying, I'm stuck here, you're giving the power away to whatever you think is creating you being stuck. In reality, you can't be stuck without your permission. We know a lot of people don't want to hear this, but you can't be stuck without your permission. You need to find a way to move yourself through the negative thoughts, through the stuckness, and know that you can see yourself free-flowing, light, airy, with good possibilities. So, to synthesize, pay attention to your thoughts, pay attention to the thoughts of people around you, pay attention to the energy that you're incorporating, realizing that it's your choice. Reach for a better thought, create a better picture, and you will move out of that negativity.
All right, I'm just going to jump to the next read if that's okay with you, Bobbie.
Okay.
Okay, so this one, I'm going to read Kurt K's question. Anyone who is looking for healing with an ex, is there going to be reconciliation? Are we going to come back together? The other person who's typing a question is my ex going to get the therapy that he needs? This answer from Bobbie is going to help. Anyone who wants to know, will my ex come back so we can at least get closure? Any kind of question similar to that is going to help. Kurt C is asking Bobbie, I'm an Aquarius dealing with a Leo. Will there be communication to discuss and heal the bad breakup?
Wow, Kurt, what we want you to do is for you to have the discussion with that person, whether they're present or not, so that you can heal from it. The other person may or may not want to engage, but you're trying to fix it to come out a certain way that you wanted. That may not be in alignment with what the other person wants. So our suggestion to you is put that person in a chair across from you. Have the conversation with the person. Say the things you need to say. Hear the answers you need to hear. Clear it up and clean it up inside of you. When you do that, you create a positive vortex where it's resolved. If the other person is ever going to want to come back and get it resolved, it's going to be from you being in that place of resolvement. And they may not. And that's not important. What you're looking for is the energy inside of you that says, I've resolved this. I've let it go. I'm still a little hurt, but you know what? I'm moving on. You need to do your own work, Kurt. And if that person comes back, they do. And if they don't, they don't. You'll still clean it up for yourself.
You know, one thing that Bobbie, this was years ago. I wonder if you even remember this, Bobbie. This was like 8 or so years ago. She told me to write a letter to my ex. And write the letter. You don't need to mail it, but write a letter. And from that, I did a couple different formats. One was I just wrote a general letter. A lot of tears came out. Another one I wrote you know what? F you. You did this. You treated me that way. Just to get that. That was one thing that I did to get the closure with them.
Excellent. Excellent. That's also an excellent way to do it. The empty chair or the letter writing.
I'm pretty sure you told me to write the letter to the ex. I'm pretty sure you're the one that told me both of those. This was like 8 or 10 years ago, Bobbie. Okay, so, I see Lavania's question. What's coming up for me? Lavania is her name. What's coming up for me and Manny the next 3 to 6 months?
Oh, okay. Well, I just have to read what's coming through. I see you holding hands, looking at each other and smiling, but your feet are stuck in mud. Trying to, because the truth is not being spoken clearly enough. The top part is in the dance of relationship, and the bottom part is stuck in a whole bunch of stuff that needs to be cleared up on both sides. How this relationship moves forward is going to be determined by whether or not the two of you drop the facade and speak the truth. So take what you like and leave the rest. That's what I got for that one.
Ooh, do you got one, Bobbie? I see 2 questions that have a similar essence. You ready?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to read you both. Carrie is asking, what's up with the trauma in every house I live? Because guys, there is no assertion, it's only attraction. So Carrie, what's up with the trauma in every house I live in? Because I was a victim of a violent crime, and by grace of God, I survived. As a result, I'm finding myself so lost, wanting to know how to find my purpose and happiness and anything Spirit wants me to know.
So that one, interestingly, I'm tripping on Abraham I was listening to yesterday while riding the river trail. And Esther was talking about a hotel that she went to, and every time she went to the hotel, they said they would be ready, but they weren't ready. And they had left the last hotel because they said they would be ready and they weren't ready. And she was thinking about going to another hotel and asked Abraham, should she? And Abraham said, not if you keep expecting the same result. You're going to keep getting the same result. You need to change your attitude. So what you need to do is look at the pluses where you're at. Look at the positives where you're at. Look at what is working where you're at and begin to believe that you can have it. We're picking up, you've still got, even though you have survived the trauma, it's still not processed. There's still a fear that the trauma's around the corner. You have some more work to do to release that trauma so you don't keep putting it in your life, putting it in your life, putting it in your life in other formats. In a way, it's keeping you from doing the closing work on the trauma because you're dealing with trauma and upsets in your current life. And in another way, it's that trauma manifesting out in the world for you to see. You've still got some work to do. You've still got some work to do. Some eye movement, some EFT tapping, some journaling, and some positive moving up. No, it's not time for the positive moving up the ladder yet. You got to clear the blockages yet. So there's still some blockages to be cleared before, because the universe is showing you that it isn't done yet.
Guys, law of attraction is not all about think the happy thought. Law of attraction is an emotional guidance, is an emotional process system. You have to identify where you are at. And if you are at fear, if you are at anxiety, You got to be okay that that's where you're starting. And trust me, when I was there getting raped, getting abused, I was like, oh my God, so there's something in me that's attracting this. This sucks. I see a lot of questions in here that talk about this. I'm kind of answering like 5 questions in one right now. I had to have that. Look up my YouTube video, Spirit Guide Damien. Kelly Lunt, that will pull it up. You guys will hear my whole sad story about the rapes and all that stuff. And my ask at the time was literally, well, I clearly don't know how, because I get all the abuse I went through, absent dad, mom, cray mom, and all the abuse I went through and the abusive relationships I've been in and all the sexual assault and literally the sheer amount of times I've been raped. But universe, like, I don't want this anymore. I don't just focus on what I don't want. I don't know what I do want though, because I don't even know a world that exists outside of that. If you guys go watch that video, you'll see me talk about it. I don't know a world that exists outside of that. I was like, so can you at least get me to neutral? At the time, I didn't realize that was me doing an ask. Can you at least get me to neutral? And when I'm at neutral, can you show me the possibilities of new types of relationships? And this is a hard pill to swallow. I'm going to be like a little brave, bold here and say, I'm an energetic master. Once I figure out where, you have to figure out where your starting point is. I want to get married and I feel afraid. I want this and I'm afraid. You got to incorporate all your emotions with you and move with them all. And eventually then they'll all get high vibe. Okay. Oh, I totally lost my train of thought. Brain fart completely. You don't want to ignore your starting point though, because it's just like a GPS map. This is where you want to get. I want to get high vibe about relationships. But if you are, I'm thinking good thoughts, he's coming, then you're just over here circling around because you haven't identified your starting point. GPS map, you need the end goal and you need the starting point. I want a relationship and I'm content. I think it can happen. You're this close to it. I want a relationship. I'm afraid. Is your journey further? Yes, but you need to enter the starting point so you can get there. Otherwise, you'll be wanting it and wanting it and wanting it. And you'll keep going in circles and circles.
And we want to jump in there, Kelly, because the way the brain works, the way the egoic mind works, the subconscious, is when you don't want to face a fear, you say, I'm happy. But there's a, oh, I'm happy. But there's a, oh, I'm happy. But there's a, it will try to bounce away from what you need to face. That's why the breathing, the focusing, the centering, and the statements are important. What do I fear will happen if? You need to find out what those fears are so you know what your starting point is. If your starting point, I thought for 40 years that I had a wonderful, loving, great family, which I did part of the time, but there was also an insane part of my family that I never faced. And I kept choosing difficult relationships and difficult situations, wondering, how could a person who's had such a wonderful life like me keep choosing this garbage? Hello. Once I found out the other side of the story, then I go, oh, that's garbage. I don't want to choose that. Now I'm going to think those better thoughts, but I couldn't do it from ignorance.
All right, everyone. So I think to wrap this up, let's do a little, I'll guide a quick little, it seems like everyone here, it's pretty guided. I'm going to do a little guided meditation and I'll let Gregory and George handle it. So if Gregory wants to pipe in, this is where it's going to do a healing meditation to allow you guys to get some energy transfers so that you can begin to call in better feeling relationships. I want to allow myself to begin to call in better feeling relationships. So everyone go ahead and close your eyes. Letting go of all of the muscles in your stomach. One by one, how many can you relax? Letting go of the muscles behind your eyes, side of your eyes, and your jaw. Go ahead and breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathing out. Beginning to allow yourself to visualize soft, gentle, pink light and a warm, soothing yellow light beaming down, 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 vibrant, soft pink and a vibrant yellow beginning to enter your heart. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Just allowing more pink and yellow light to begin to enter your heart. And perhaps the light is swirling, cleaning and clearing. Perhaps the light is finding little psychic cords and just pulling them out. Allowing more vibrant yellow and more vibrant pink to enter your heart. Perhaps the light's massaging your heart out, just giving it a little bit of a break. Allowing your heart to know that love can feel good, that relationships with others can feel good. Just allowing the light to come in and permeate all four chambers, the blood coming in, getting the healing light, the blood leaving the heart, getting the healing light. From this point forward, you now allow relations with others to feel better and better and better. Each and every day, every time you breathe in, you're calling in that same pink and yellow light naturally that just allows your brain to rewire, your cells to adjust, your DNA to restructure, so that relationships are now beginning to feel better and better and better. And your eyes will not naturally be drawn to notice the better feeling situations. And every breath out, your body, your mind, your soul, your heart is just releasing the past back to the past, knowing that you are now rebuilding a newfound trust with yourself and a new way with being, and allowing that journey to feel positively uplifting. Opening your eyes, wiggling your toes, wiggling your fingers, coming back when you're ready. Whew, I like that one.
Beautiful.
Gina, thank you so much. T, as much as I super duper appreciate that super chat, Bobbie and I are bringing this to, are bringing it to a close, Bobbie, or do you want to do one more quick read?
I'm ready to
Okay,
close.
me too. Me too. All right, guys, if y'all are looking for more,
say, trust the flow and let the good times roll. So that means they're out.
but T, Bobbie has given me tons of clarity like that before. I just put her link in there for reading if you guys are looking for personalized support just for you on a live call, so it's more interactive. I even think Bobbie does. Are you doing live calls or are you doing video calls?
I'm doing video and phone, whichever they want.
Whichever you want. If you want some in-depth support, she's available for some private reads. So just go ahead and go there. I'll put the link in the description. And guys, pay attention to the community tab on YouTube, or make sure you get on my email list. You can just go to my website, kellylunt.com, and on the homepage, you just enter your name and your email. I give you a free gift of a free meditation to meet your spirit guide. But you also be on my email list. So the community tab on YouTube, or get on my email list, and I will let you guys know next time we are going live. We are going to start doing this I'll probably do it twice, once a week. They'll get her on that week. So at least once a week, we'll either be doing it together, or I'll be doing it by myself, or maybe she'll just pop on here. We're just going to try to figure it out so we get some more reads for y'all. So I love you guys.
Love you, darlings.
And don't forget, she's available for private reads. Love you guys. See you next week. Mwah.
Mwah.